Hello, everyone. I hope you are enjoying week 5 of the course and chapter 7 in our textbook. As we've turned this week to look at data analysis and interpretation, it's important that you remember to really investigate the methodology you had selected for your own research study. So, if you picked a qualitative study or if you picked a quantitative study, you're going to want to hone in specifically on those particular sections in chapter 7. So, for example, the qualitative analysis and interpretation techniques begin around page 175, 179, and the quantitative data interpretation techniques begin on page 203. So no matter which format you selected, which methodology you selected, there's quite a bit of work that goes into the analysis process. On the qualitative side, you're going to be looking at coding and interpretation. On the quantitative side, you're going to be looking at mathematical constructs, mostly just the basics of statistics, measures of central tendency, mean, median, and mode, as well as a measure of variance, standard deviation. So if those terms are sounding a little bit unfamiliar, like you haven't taken a statistics class in quite some time, my first suggestion is to get yourself comfortable with kind of the basics of the math skills that are required to interpret your data. Um, while the qualitative side of the house is going to express a great deal more of their data interpretations um, with prose or with um, a more kind of overarching discussion of the collection process and the data itself. Quantitative folks are going to be in it collecting and assessing with actual numbers. If you need any help with your statistics, if you're looking at a quantitative data collection process, feel free to let me know. I find another truly wonderful resource, especially for those of you teaching in a secondary environment, is to pop your head into the math department and ask for any help as you might need it from your faculty colleagues. Moving on in this week's discussion, what I think is really exciting about the data collection process and analysis is getting to share that with someone else. So for your assignment this week, because you all may be in slightly different places in your research process, some of you may have already collected data, some of you may be preparing to collect data. I think it's important that you work one-on-one with a peer where you are given the opportunity to discuss these potential challenges that you might face in your analysis or in your collection process itself, as well as talk about what the future of this data is going to look like for you in particular. So what you'll find this week is a list of partners, people who are going to work together to discuss their data interpretation plans as a whole. And I encourage you to use Blackboard Collaborate so that you can see each other, or if either of you has an access to Zoom, to use Zoom as a way to connect. And if not, the telephone always works. So I'm hoping that you have productive and enjoyable conversations with each other. You get to learn a little bit more about the research that a partner in your class might be planning to endeavor. And hopefully this makes for a really enjoyable week of work together in our course. Thanks.